Namaste!
Power up. Bluetooth mode.
Grand Rising, Big Cat. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or massages. Come in. Come on. I've got intel. Recon is afoot. Yes, Big Cat. The planetary energies are. The Leo Sun opposes the Aquarius Moon, creating what? A full moon, darling dears. This could cause some upheaval on a numerous front, darling dears. What front? Relationships, darling dears. Relationships. The theme of the day centers on partnerships and those who mirror you, darling dear, on a soul level. And those that don't, those that are mask-wearing marauders that pretend to be just like you so they can what? Screw you over without the Vaseline, darling dears. I've told you this many times, bestie. Many times. We're going to dive in. I haven't done a live for a long time. Fist bump, Kelly Palisano. Who else is here? I see, who's that? Oh gosh, that screen is so small. I've got so many screens around me. Lynn Driver, first in the chat. Slim Jim, fist bump. Taurus Chorus, well, go on. Big Cat, wait. Florida time. Glad you had the time for me. Thank you. Thank you for joining me, darling dears. Let's dive in. Relax, darling dear. We've got it all under control. Oh, you've got two of them, darling dears. When you cast rune stones, you read them from right to left. This one has turned over by itself, so we're going to read it first. It is what Wunjo, represented by the star card in tarot, darling dears. Big Cat Aquarius energy. What's it? It's about groups, darling dears. The 11th house. Yes, baby. All of this and that, darling dears. All of this and that. It's about friendships, your social awareness. It's also about technology. Maybe your technology is going a bit squiffy, but you've got a group of people, darling dear, that's paying attention to what you've got going on. Yes, baby, they're working that social media. They need to leave it alone. Their hairline is pitchy-patchy, darling dears. Every time they look at your shiznai, they lose more hair. What's wrong with them? Wunjo, represented by the letter V, as well as W, as well as the number 17. It speaks about you coming into a more peaceful era in your life. Glorified, darling dears. Why? You did the dearness like a boss. Had to look over my shoulder. Why? Because I'm the red light, green light champion of 79. This also speaks about you're about to receive some kind of a wish, a dream. It could be around your health. It's about to be fulfilled, darling dears. The Wunjo, the star card, also tells us what? Jealousy. That evil green eye is watching you, darling dear, all over you like white on rice. They should have trusted that the fact that you was what? The salt of the earth. That you was stable, darling dears. They didn't trust that. They didn't. This speaks about your growth game, darling dears. Your growth. Big Cat. I dropped it as well. You got the blank rune. I told you a wish is about to be fulfilled, darling dears. If you've been doing that work, working on yourself, the shadow work, darling dears, you're about to be gifted something from the universe. Don't tell anyone, not even me, because I've got a big mouth. Yes, yes, yes. All of this and that, darling dears. Love it. I don't hate it. Let's get your ancestral messages. Then we're going to speak about the skullduggerous, yeah? Why not? We don't speak about them in public. As far as they're concerned, we didn't even know they're still alive. And we ain't checking pulses. Nope. Nope. Let's see what your ancestors... Listen. Whatever kind of what? Was it a spell work? Negative words? Whatever they've been doing, darling dear, it's a full-on return to sender. The candles, they're crying into their fist. Yes, baby. Try to keep you stuck on what? Wait mode, darling dear. Not weighing yourself, waiting, darling dear. They expected you to be a dusty figurine on that high shelf that no one notices. Well, guess what? Cry me a river, darling dears. A whole river. Your ancestors ain't having it. What did I just say to you, darling dears? Did I not say that you was the stable one in someone's life or someone's life? Here you are. This is like the Ace of Wands. You was motivating, darling dear. You inspired them to what? To be better than they were. And what did they do with that inspiration? Gave it to you without the Vaseline. Don't tell anyone. See, in the heart chakra, Proverbs 4:23, you learned how to guard your heart, for from your heart springs the well of life, darling dear. But it does not mean what? Close your heart. Your heart is not closed. This is why Divine has given you the blank room, as well as what? The up. It's giving you a tap on the shoulder to let you know peace and joy is about to be perpetrated in your hemisphere. Darling dears, absolutely love it. You've got a good grip on this new beginning. This also speaks about a work ethic, darling dears. Some of you are changing your work from possibly working for someone or working for yourself, darling dear, becoming an entrepreneur. This is a heartfelt job or task that you're actually doing, which is going to be better for you, darling dears. Remember, I told you that. You have to be the leader of the pack. You're not good at taking orders. You don't like to be pushed around. I don't like to be pushed around. From somebody who tries to push me around, I get very quiet, darling dears. I get quiet. Why? Because I need time to plot. My eyes get slitty, my lips get thin, and then I'm plotting in the background, darling dear. Plotting. We've got the watchtower of summer on its face, darling dears. On its face. Watchtower of the south. Big cat, this is fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Somebody would like to rekindle a romance with you. They've got a new passion and vigor for you. That's all they got to give you, darling dears. Panani Fatum that's been around the world, and ay, baby, you better pay your knees, big cat. You can't be that desperate for a quick bunk up, are you? Really? You'd go with the Skullduggeress that we've already seen from Wunjo that's been around groups. So they've got bodies on them, darling dear. The soul ties alone makes me want to shake and shimmy, darling dears. They want a new romance with you. Why? Because they're seeing the fruits of your labor, darling dears. Can't you see the sunflower is out high? You're durable, darling dears. They didn't think that you'd get a second wind. Not only did you get a second, you got a third, fourth, and fifth. Why? You're chosen, darling dear. And you was always the gift in the situation. Doesn't matter what it is, darling dear. You was the gift. Why? Because you thought differently. You thought with compassion. You thought with unconditional love. You did all of this and that. Oh, thank you for the coffee. Coffee number 4. No rest. Aren't you going to say hello to the cats? Let them see how your hair. I love his hair like this. He's got his locks all bound up, darling dear.
Hey everyone.
Now that I've thoroughly embarrassed my favourite son. Yes. So what if it's my only son? It's still my favourite. Now these are all stickety stuck together. Just a second, let me unwrap it. Yeah. They want to rekindle a romance, darling dear. They want to gas you up one more time, darling dear, to leave all sorts of attachments on you. Face of the deck, darling dears. Third eye on Mitchies and bitches. Who wants it? Who wants it? Because you got the smoke. Why? Everything you need to know about these person or people, you already know. Oh, Kelly, I'll tell him that his hair looks good. I tell him all the time. Anyhow, as I was saying, High Priestess, this is some kind of air of mystery about you, darling dears. The mystery could also speak about you moving in silencio. You listen. You haven't got the time for this level of foolishness. You've got to leave it to Folio and the other village idiots in the mud huts. This also speaks about your natural abilities, darling dears, your psychic. Trust your intuition. Trust your discernment, darling dears. Every secret, every answer you know comes from within. You went within. High Priestess energy is knowing yourself from the inside out. What's that, Taurus? Yeah, we thought they were people, but they wasn't people. We didn't do the scratch and sniff test. And I didn't scratch anyone because they'd put me in prison like what? R. Kelly, darling dears, because I'm going for what major arteries. But don't tell anyone, bestie. Let them think that I'm meek and mild and I'm quiet because I'm plotting. Listen, I come with the smoke and the fire. That's why I'm quiet. That's why you're quiet, big cat. People, these people, they don't really know you. They don't really know you. No, they don't. walking around crying over foolish people, darling. There's tears on your face. You better rub them bitches in, mate. Rub them in. You, with great responsibility comes power, darling dears. Remember I told you that. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and you carry the crown, darling dears. Why? You've got endurance, darling dear. Endurance. You have the support of your ancestral team. You come from a lineage of high priestess, priest, shaman, healers. Yes, baby, on every level. Somebody just said, I just heard cook. You said you're a cook. What do you mean you're a cook? Your hands, darling dears, the energies that you put into the food. Remember I told you that. Don't ever make yourself seem like you're a small fry when you're a big cat. Now you've got me sucking my 31 teeth, and you know I don't like doing that, bestie. You know. Let's get a deck, because we're spying on them. Should we get 2 decks? Should we get one for you and one for them? First one to come up. Should we go 1 or 2? 2 decks or 1? Leader Dan, Wagwan, Big Cat, Wave. Bonita, my dancing ballerina. Glad you could skip over here, darling dears. What's that? Slim Jim said, get paid. No, let me tell you something. You want 2 decks. The spiritual magician just said, you're right, Slim Jim. I'd rather be paid, right, than laid. Are you mad? Listen, I wouldn't even know how to put myself in that kind of a... I don't understand how it would happen, blood. I'm surprised I've got 3 progenies because I can't remember what it was like, and I didn't want to remember. Because then I'll have to get the bat out. I'll have to leave my house without my devices. I've got to leave with my prison braids, the cane rolls, because I'm telling you, it's very serious. Listen, don't let me wake up that sleeping beast, because there's a lot of bad things that's attached to it. Right. 2 decks. So for the big cat, we'll get the gold deck. For the waist man and waist gal, we'll get the black deck, darling dears. We'll go with them first. See what's going on with them. Base of the deck. Yes, baby, they want to come and give you a quick running over. They want to smooth out your edges. The same edges that they did what made pitchy patchy and picky like a nyam grass head. They made your hairline look like you've been bleached in the sun, darling dear. An unwanted lawn. Imagine that. And now they're passionate about you. Imagine that. Where are they getting all this intel from? OMG. Listen. They're remembering your loyalty, darling dears. They're remembering your unconditional love. They're remembering that you told them to fuck right off and never come back. And they're remembering how you turned your shapely back. They're still trying to imagine what your buttocks looks like, unclothed. I told you, they're up to foolishness. Let's give it a good shufty and see what's going on. These black cards, blood. I bought some cards from, where did I get these ones from? I got them from Wish online. I was thinking, oh, these cards are durable. They last forever. And then when I saw the cards weren't wearing out, my son goes, but mom, it's made of plastic. I said, you what? He said, yes. I said, oh, no. So they're going to be forever slippery and sliding around. All right. I nearly said enemy Freudian slip meant to come out, darling dears. Millie de la Prida. Wagwan. Fist bump. All right. What's going on around the skullduggeress that have nothing but what? Panani and Fatum. That's been out in the wild, darling dears. It's been in the wild. What's this? Look at this. What did I say? In the upright, this is somebody living a solitary life, building up growth. This is somebody that's been amongst what? Was it Wild Kingdom, darling dear? They've been with snakes, dung beetles, and I think there's a slug or 2 amongst them. Yeah, they've been amongst many people, darling dears. This is why they're looking back at you, Page of Swords, in the reverse. So they went out there, right, into God knows where to do God knows what with God knows who, right? Situations that would embarrass the devil himself, darling dear. And you know the devil is heinous, as well as what? Hedonistic. What did I say? There's a lot of people they've been with, darling dears. And all the people they've been with, it was competition for you, darling dear. But none of them competed. Why? Because they don't compare. So they went and found Wild Kingdom, did they? All right. move these slippery cards that don't like to come off the table along. So what have you been doing whilst they've been practicing Wild Kingdom? I want to know. What's the big cat been up to? Right? What you been up to? People lie. The cards don't. What's Big Cat been up to? Came off the back end, darling dears. Look at this. Keeping a control on your emotions, darling dears. Nurturing unto yourself. If you've got progeny, you've been paying attention to the progeny. And is that not the lid on your cup of, your infinite cup of love? You've been minding your own business, darling dears. The Queen of Cups is a husband or a wife. Maybe it was a long-term situation. It could have been a short-term, but you was invested, darling dears. This is why you had to put the lid back on that cup. And take a leap of faith, right, into the unknown, where the big cat will always flourish. Why? It's got the Uranus energy. You became a rogue and a rebel. Hey, nothing like a rebel, what? Soft-hearted queen. It also speaks about your intuition, darling dear. Highly intuitive. Yes, baby, you are taking a look before you leap. You learned here at Don't Get Smoke Central that we do the boosie badass, darling dear, at all times. I don't care who it is. I don't care how pretty them look. I couldn't give a fuck if it took them what? If they was to hide all their money under their bed and they stepped out, it took them 15 miles before they landed on the floor. I don't care. Everybody gets what? Interviewed and what? Research, darling dears. Research. If they've committed a crime, right? It will be a public record. You can find that out. If they've got what? Bad finances, you can find that out. If they've changed their name many, many times, you can find that out. Why? Because you can't change things like your social security number in the US and your national insurance number in the UK. Listen, I find out things in my spare time. I haven't got time to watch the television, darling dear. Too busy, mate. Too busy. Yeah, you took a leap of faith when you left the situation or circumstance. Because the fool, darling dear, there was an age difference between you, darling dears, right? But you thought this person was going to be, they was enthusiastic when they met you. Yes, they did, darling. They didn't have a care in the world. You just told them to come. You didn't care that they didn't have what you had, which was a big mistake. But we all learn about that on the back end, darling dears. They're going through Guantanamo Bay. Looking for you here, there, and everywhere. Imagine that. Instead of looking into the mirror, why they don't have you anymore. Now I'm sucking my 31 teeth again. Now listen, it's a double whammy. I'm getting a hot flush and sucking my 31 teeth. Now you know that I'm peed off with that, right? Right. Let me sip my mocha, see if I'll calm down. Hold on a minute. Because I can feel my Tourette's coming out, guys. I can feel it. Right. You don't care about them, right? So what are they gonna do towards you? Because they realize that you don't come to a penny, right? Look. They feel hurt in their heart. Heart is hurting them. Yeah. Somebody that they was dealing with, darling dear, they've met a bigger nut than them. Possibly someone with a certificate in what? As a psychopath, darling dear. Yes, baby. They've graduated from the what? The University of giving it to people without the Vaseline. They found many people like that to use them. Like a $2 how. Yeah. This person is feeling all people are feeling extremely vulnerable. And there's a lot of gossip at their back. Why is people talking about them? Because them broke. Yeah. And they realize that they gambled and lost a big cat, darling dear. This is somebody that doesn't have a stable home. This is somebody that'll be peeping out the windows. Yeah. They may even try and mail themselves. They're going to fit themselves into an envelope, darling dear, and try and mail themselves. Unfortunately, they won't separate their body parts. I don't know what's wrong with them, darling dear. They want to come back and they know that they are in what? Easter Island and Stevie Wonder, darling dears. Siberia. Look at them, look. Look, when you look at the cards, look to see where the faces are, darling dears. This person wants to make a new beginning. They're feeling extremely vulnerable. They didn't realize that people out there would F them over. They thought everybody was like you. And now they're out in the cold. They're in no man's land. They're in the land that even if you see them on the street, darling dear, you have on your darkest glass. right? And if they dare approach you, 3 go-to moves, darling dears. Go and watch my Don't Get Smoked video where I teach you light kung fu and self-defense. Yeah, this person don't want to argue and fight anymore. They don't want to argue. They don't want to tell you about yourself anymore. No, they don't. They want to come in meek and mild. This is 2 5s, darling dears. 5 means let it go. It's a TKO. They would like to speak to you, darling dears, but they're not going to tell you the truth about what they experienced in Wild Kingdom. They're not going to tell you. You minded your own business. This is about you moving into unknown territory, darling dears. And I know it hurt you, darling dears. Queen of Cups. It hurt your heart. But remember when you did this, big cat, you broke generational curses for your progeny and anyone else in your lineage going down. This is how you get your blessings, darling dears, by overcoming your south node. Whatever you was doing with your south node before you knew yourself, you was perpetrating it. This is why you got taken. They didn't take just the piss. They took a shit, darling dear. They went straight past the piss and took a shit. So how do you feel now that you've sailed away, sail away, sail away? Oh. How do you feel now? All right. You know that they want to talk to you, darling dears. Look. All the ladies who independent, throw your hands up and listen. Ladies and gentlemen, darling dears, you are single and independent, watching your grass grow, darling dears. You'll soon leap up. You've already seen the Queen of Cups, but you go to the Queen of Peas and straight up to the Empress, darling dear. Right? The Queen of Cups tells us that you mastered your emotions, which was a new thing for you, darling dears. You fought in the past. If you turn around and tell people, oh, I'll be there for you, darling dear. I will wait for you forever, like a figurine. You had to learn not to do that, shiznai, darling dears. You have to learn to drop the lock on that front door. Whenever they've gone, wherever they've gone, let them be gone, darling dear. You have no one fighting with you in your domicile, darling dears. You've gone into a field where you don't even know the competition, darling dear. Why? They can't compete where they don't compare. This is about self-worth, self-care, and self-love, darling dear. Loving on yourself. 5 of Wands in the upright, I might add. It also speaks about there's a lot of tension. People get tense when they think about you, darling dears. This also speaks about suitors, darling dears. There's as much as 5 people that are seeing you as the business, darling dears. Well, let the games begin, darling dear. Let the games begin. Base of the deck, darling. You know the Marauders want to come back. You know they want to come back. Because you're fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. You pea, glitter, shit, cupcakes, and fart rainbows. What are they talking about? What were they thinking? When they did what they did, let's split their deck. Listen, they thought that you was to a penny. Imagine that. Imagine that. They thought they could just pick you up, someone just like you, but in a different meat suit, anywhere. They chose, when you see it in the upright, 7 of Pentacles, right partner, right investment, waste of time. They wasted their money, they wasted their energy. It speaks about displacement. They ain't even got their own home. Darling dears, what do you mean? They moved in with someone who was what? A shepherdess or shepherd of the devil. Wow. All right, let's move on. So they want to cut. They want to come and apologize, but we've already seen it's too late to apologize. Yes, baby, it's too late. They don't want me to sing it over because I will sing it. I will sing it. Come to my house, want to come disturb my peace. Good God, it'd be like awaken the Kraken. Yeah. You know the Kraken that Perseus bested had to cut off Medusa's head to go and kill the Kraken. Yeah, I'd have to do some of that shiznai, but didn't tell anyone. So what are they gonna do now? Now that they can't beg you back, we've got 3 5s on this tableau. This is a quantum change. They've seen you change in a way that they did not anticipate. Yes, baby, just noticed it. You've got 5 5 5 on the counter. The change is in you, darling dear. The change is in you. But the biggest change of all was mastering your emotions, right? Mastering your emotions, knowing your worth, taking the time to study and learn new things, darling dears. Build your empire in silencio, darling dear, and listening to your intuition, your higher self. Yeah, how about that? So now they know that you don't want them, or they think you don't want them. What are they going to do? What am I going to do? Listen, they're going to continue to make the wrong choices for partnerships, darling dears. This person is trying to find a stable home, a stable job. It also speaks about mental health issues. Yeah, their brain feels too tight inside their cranium. Imagine that. Yeah, and they know why they're going through all of these issues. 9 of Swords in the reverse means you know what's bloody going on. They know why they're going through this, right? And it's their karma. So you can't be Captain Save a Harlot in this season. Why? You'll be sorry, darling dears. Remember, the Justice card is represented by the 7th house. The 7th house is of partnerships. This is a divorce, ending of a situation. Clarity and truth being born into a situation, darling dear. And they ain't got no money. On top of everything else, right? On all the bodies they've got on them, darling dear. No home, right? They barely got a car. They listen, a lot of bad things have happened to them. They didn't realize how much bad luck they had on them when they effed you over, darling dears. You was always the blessing. Think back through your life, big cat. Anytime certain personages have been around you, they got that job, they got that line of education, they got that car application, they got all of these things, darling dears. But as soon as they effed you over, right, and chose the horde, right, none of them could make one of you, darling dear. The bad luck found them. They got bad luck on them, darling dear. And there is no God in this situation. So the devil is running rampant, darling dear. Rampant. And this also shows that somebody's blocked their calls, blocked all of their messages. So they're lonely in their terror and they're upset. So what's the best next step for the big cat now that they're minding their own business? To keep your heart unbroken, darling dear. You know what's going on. You understand red flags, darling dears. You understand double speak, right? And you also understand the benefit of what? Not getting smoked, blood, bruh, or sistrine. We ain't getting smoked. No. You are the change, darling dears. You created this change in your life. And it's also because this is Uranus. Uranus is about technologies. You're going to get some kind of email, or it could be a call, darling dears, but something pertaining to what you've been going through, working on. I'm not saying it in a horrible way. This is something positive, darling dears. It's in the upright. You're about to get something that's about to change your life for air. And I'm not playing. You got the blank rune, darling dears. You got the blank rune. You may have felt a bit, how can I put it? Because you took this leap of faith, darling dear, and you expected everything to be all what jiggy from the beginning, but it takes time. Why? Your ancestors don't trust you, blood. They don't trust you. They know that you've got this big heart that likes to feel sorry for people, right? And when you feel sorry for these people, yeah, did you hear that laugh, big cat? Every time you take them back. That's how they laugh at you before they release what? Chucky. Their inner Chucky. They're a full-on gremlin, right? Base of the deck, darling dear. What did I just say? You have the hand of God coming through with a blessing for you. It could be your ring bearer card. It's a new job. It's a new home. If you're an entrepreneur, expect your business to take an upturn. But it's about you what? Keep going, darling dears. We don't look backwards. We look forwards. Because divine is giving you what? Baby. Choices. Choices. People want me to swear and use all of my Jamaican swear words, but I'm trying to have one day free of not using them. Can I just ask you about something, Big Cat? Because I think this has only happened to me, right? This got nothing to do with this reading, right? It's about the keys to the house. My progeny, they've lost about, I think about, between the two of them, I think it must be about 8 or 9 keys since we moved to this property. right? When my son lost his key the other day, I was like, how are you going to get in? You're going to have to break the window. And I thought, you've lost so many keys. Somebody's going to break in and thief my pum-pum while I'm sleeping, darling dears. Stop losing your key. Do they lose the keys around your house, big cat? Or is it just me? Am I being paranoid? I feel picked on. I even went as far as one day, right? I took the progeny in the car, right? They know not to question me because I will pull over, right? Took them in the car to go and get a new key. So I handed the key back to my son. He took a key off the ring and flung it out the window. I said, what key did you fly out the window? He goes, the key I don't need. I said, how do you know which one you don't need? They both look the same. You threw away the key that you just got. I'd listen. Does it happen to you, big cat? And I can't tie it round the neck because I might choke them blood clot. Listen, now it's got me swearing again. I tried to make it seem like it didn't, but it bothers me, Black. I don't lose my keys. I don't lose my money, right? And as sure as she's not, he ain't losing my common sense. I said to them both, you want someone to come in here and thief my blood clot, take it up at night time while I'm sleeping. It's not happened to you, Slim Jim. Then don't lose your keys. You ain't got the, listen, I'll lend you my progeny for a month or two, mate. They'll have you, what? A hairline pitchy patchy, wondering, where's the keys? Where's the keys? Confirmation by the bell. Hold on a sec. This is my baby calling. Hello? I'm on a live, darling, dear. Call me back in a minute. What's the matter? Talk fast. Oh, shit. I want the phone. I had to answer the phone for her because she's outside. She probably ain't got her keys to get back in. I'll tell you, one day they're going to be pressing up against the glass, mate. And they're going to see me doing a twerk as I go to the kitchen. I ain't going to open the door. They want someone to thief my panani at night time, right? Or come and try and conk me in my head, right? Just chucking out the keys like that. It's not... Listen, I've got to tell you, bestie, because who else am I going to tell? Who else? And I know you won't tell anyone, bestie. Nobody will know. I'm up against it, mate. And listen, I warned them. I said, every time you lose a key now, I'm going to take £10 off your allowance, right? And £10 for the effrontery of it. So that's £20. So lose the key, Black. Lose the key, and we can all sit down and look at each other like this when they could be out with their friends. Their eyes would be like this, doink, doink, doink. They didn't ask me if we're going out. Why? Because we now have no key for come back in. They want me to be breaking the glass. Then, let me just... Let's go back to the... Because there's no one to check me. Woo! I have to tell you. Anyhow, let's carry on with the read. Let's get the final outcome for this reading. So they broke, darling dear. They met psychopaths and sociopaths, narcs, darling dears. That was bigger than them. And they, listen, they didn't look at their certificate. This is somebody who, when you see the Hierophant in reverse, darling dears, this is was what beguiled by their eyes, but they didn't do the research. Imagine that. They didn't do the research. So what's the final outcome for them? Let's give it a good shufty. What's their final outcome? Listen, when I think about them progeny and them keys, Black, Jesus, woo child, easy tiger. I've got to talk to myself, big cat, I do. Anyhow, yeah, I saw life a go on for me, big cat. I saw it a go on for me. Bernicia, Mango, what go on? Fist bump, never late, darling dear, always on time. You're a big cat. They're crying into their fist and possibly even touching themselves under their cloak, darling dear. Yeah, trying to get that panani futum ready for you, big cat. They want to come and what? Kidnap your orifice that you've got vacant. Do you have a vacant orifice? These questions you must ask yourself in your private time. This person is full of regret, maybe even remorse, darling dears. They thought that you was to a penny. Listen. Yeah, they've got some big thinking to do, darling dears. They got to be careful lest they fall back. Can't you see the rocks of life right behind them? Karma is on them like white on rice. Yeah, they should have thought carefully about the earth angel that was sent to them, darling dears. They should have thought carefully. They was always disloyal to you, darling dears. They never had any intention of giving you back the same level of energy you put into them. They never. And that's the truth, darling dear. They only liked what you provided, King of Pentacles. All right. They only like what you provided. What do you think about that? What's your final outcome? Now I'm agitated and I'm still thinking about the keys. Guys, you ain't going to be slipped off your flip-flop, right? Not for nothing. Not for a quick, was it rumpy pumpy in the hay, right? By someone Skullduggerous who's been amongst many, darling dears, right? They're even afraid. They're afraid of what they went through, darling dears. Yes, 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 yes. I tell you, some of them 20-somethings, some of them 30-somethings, some of them 40-somethings, darling dears. They're scandalous. If you meet somebody, right? And you find them in a field, darling dear. In a field, right? In a field, right? With what? AKA 47s pointed on them, darling dear. You've got attack dogs straining at the leash to get them. There they get up off that what? That pail. They don't even got a throne. They've got a turned over pail sitting on, darling dear. If you meet someone in that condition by themselves, what was it that attracted you to that person? Listen. You've got loyalty on its way, darling dears. Continue to do your due diligence. Don't allow yourself to be slipped off your flip-flops, right? This is about you avoiding drama, darling dears, because remember, karma is not discriminatory. And it also speaks about some information, something that's been a long time coming. You're going to get some intel on these people, darling dears. What's this? God, it's a page in this, sorry. Page of Cups, emotionally immature, and a effing skin peeling gingivitis carrier, a liar to boot, darling dear. They want to come around and because listen, in their deck, you're the King of Pentacles. In your listen, you're the King Ping, Queen Ping, Queen Ping, King Ping. You are stable, you are secure, darling dears. You made a new life for yourself. You did the due diligence. You took time to what? Work on yourself. Work on yourself, darling dears. And remember, you are about to be blessed by the Most High. So what else happened to them while they was in Wild Kingdom? Let's see. What else happened? That's a lot of flipping cards. But this one fell out on top, mate. Look where they're running from. They're running from it's a bigger snake than them, darling dear. What did I say? You better keep it poker face, darling dear, because you already ended the situation. This is why I tell you, when you hear that people are going through their situations, bad situations of the bad karma, the first reaction is to laugh, but don't laugh, because you already told them these things were going to happen. You already told them. And what did they do? They said, get out, get out, get out of here. They treated you like the ugly duckling. This narcissist. All right, let's move it on. Let's get some more intel. This is fun. This is fun. I'm still thinking about the keys, guys, but I'm trying to hold it down till I finish the read, because I can't believe it. I don't understand it. When I leave the house, before I leave the house, I've got my keys. I've got Moonies, my Skrilla.com gifted to me by the Most High Father, God, Mother Isis, right? I've got my whole agenda for the day. How can you forget your keys? And that's the worst thing to do, darling, is if you're locked out of your house and you want to get inside. You remember the food you got in there. You remember that you can go to the toilet. You can do a whole number 2, right? With all of the acoustics. And no one's going to tell you nothing, darling, dear. Why? Because you're in your yard, right? Your comfortable bed. You're thinking you want to get out of these tight... Listen. The keys is the first thing I secure, but then again, it's me. Listen, I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm a pointer, not a picker. Right, let's go in a bit further. Where's my deck of the wicked? We haven't used this in a while. There is good and bad in this deck. They're trying to come through and shoplift your Panani or your Fatum, darling dear. They funk if they can get you into bed one more time. Yeah, try and get me into bed, yeah? It'll be the last time you sleep. You dick-dealing mattress back. You little kitten here or Cuban here. You animal. I wouldn't know how they do it. But listen, to wrestle me into the boudoir, right? For me to drop my pantaloon for someone that's F me over without the Vaseline, Good God, I'd be slipping off my pantaloons to choke the fuck out of them blood. Listen, I told you, I barely keep my aggressive side inside, darling dear. I keep it on the inside, right? Because if I let it out, I'll be in prison. My grandbabies, when I get them, they'll be writing to their grandma in prison. Yeah. What's this? Religion and spiritual, they've seen God now, darling dears. They're going to tell you they've seen God. They've seen the light. If you are a spiritual person, all of a sudden they come in what? Burning sage. But the sage refused to light in their presence. Why? Because they're the devil's most diligent worker. And they must go through their karma. WWE style. You're right, Slim Jim. Fist bump. Look. They're watching you with them hooded, unrequited love eyes, darling dear. Now they love you long time. They love you long time, darling dear. When they saw that there was animals out there. Animals. Yeah. And they've got daddy issues, darling dear. It's an issue with their father. Maybe they only had a father to raise them. Whoever their father, listen, their father's possibly ashamed of, look, they want deviant sex from you, big cat. They want deviant sex from you. Listen, they don't care which orifice you make vacant for them, darling dear. They'll take it. And they're jealous, bitter. Yes, baby. Jealous and bitter, right? What's this? The cards are telling you to stay out of the indecisive energy, yeah? Remember what you had to overcome, big cat. Remember what it felt like. Don't live with that pain, but you make sure that you don't put yourself in a position to ever feel like that again. Not if you become a keyboard gangster. Remember what they did, darling dear. Like I always say, you know, forgive everyone, but remember the bastardo's name, darling dear. Remember the name. And remember, you was the one to tell them to what? Get the black bags. You are Basura. Get out, right? Push off and kick rocks. Look, the deck has closed itself. Let's finally get Kipper and finish off this read. And then we're out of here to get great. As per usual, always coming with the tower, darling dears. The tower of infinite possibilities. Can we get into the Uranus of it all, darling dears? Can we? But then again, who go and check me? No one, right? You've got changes coming in, darling dear. Changes that is going to allow you to be utilizing technologies on a more regular basis. Maybe you've got a business online, whatever it is, darling dear. You're coming with it. And the universe is jumping up to meet you halfway. Like the Black Eyed Peas, push line, meeting you halfway. This is a time, it's going to be a joyful season for you, darling dears. I just heard the number 52. For the next 52 weeks, are you 52? The 5 and a 2 is a 7. We are in a 7-year, darling dears. Highly spiritual, lots of things being revealed. But it's also a reminder to analyze all knowledges that's being gifted to you. Dog. And it came up with the jealous person. I didn't mean to pick it up like that. I told you, whomsoever, wherever they went, darling dear, whoever was this fork-tongued snake they found out was a bigger narc, sociopath, and psychopath than them, darling dear, is jealous of you, the person that they're with. Right? That person gave them, listen, they was getting a lot of issues, mate. There was always someone in the background, right? A gift. You was the gift. And this unexpected income could be anything. It doesn't necessarily mean money, darling dears. It could be knowledge. It could be what? True soul tribe. It could be a new home, a new car, a new career. But remember, it's a gift from the Most High, darling dears, because of how you handled the situation. You sat in your maturity, darling dears, and took time to unwrap the gift of yourself. You are a gift, big cat. Never you ever think anything less. You are a gift. Remember, according to your DNA and my DNA, there is no one else like you. You are irreplaceable. And once you're gone for good. Yes, you can have progeny, but there is no one that is exactly like you. You are unique. You are rare, darling dears. This fool, this what simpleton thought you was everywhere, that they could find another you. New beginning for you, darling dear. On the 18th, it's about you being illuminated into the lies you possibly even told yourself in a situation. This person or people will always be keeping secrets. Why? Because they know wisdom is for the wise, and they never saw you as wise. They will take you through it again, darling dear. They will take you through it. Don't believe them, darling. They're going to come in meek and mild, right? What did I say? They want access to your Panani or Fatum, darling, dear. They better, yes, I did threaten you, and I would lie and say it wasn't me, it was a mistake, right? This person's crying into their fist. I told you that it's affecting their money. They haven't got a home to go to. If they got a pet, the pet wants to go to the RSPCA. That's the Royal Society of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, darling dear. The pet wants to go to the RSPCA. They don't want to stay with them. This is a new beginning for you, darling dear. Some of you will be boarding a train, but it's also about the travel. You have to understand, when you get to a 10, darling dear, it's the ending of a cycle, completion, and a new beginning for you, darling dear. But you have to believe it. Remember, darlings, I told you, conceive, believe, and achieve. You work in silence. You work in silence. As a big cat, it is your responsibility, darling dears, to make sure that no one finds you in the spot you left them or they left you. Never you ever be meek and mild and sit complacently waiting for someone to pick you up. Like I said, like you're a figurine. Listen, it's got me on my... Listen. You get your education, darling dears. Whether you are a keyboard gangster, you go to an organization, you find out she's naive. There's so much intel that you can find out in order to what? Build a better future for yourself. Remember, they wanted you to be down Bobby Brown, darling dear. They wanted you to be toe-tagged or barking at passing cars in the streets, dressing like what? Quasimodo's breast. First I said best. Listen, breast come out. Is there somebody got breast issue? Is there something wrong with the breast? It's coming out, darling dears. Split this deck. Yeah, you've got papers, and on the universe has got papers, and then this fell out as well. Continue to keep your eyes on the prize, darling dears. Here around the big cat, don't get smoke central. We wish for the stars, and we aim for the stars. And if we land in the cloud, we're still happy. Why? We're not in the same place where they thunk they would come back and find us, darling dears. We've got papers on them. And remember, you are being protected. There's a lot of dull yellow. A lot of people are jealous of the fact that you was able to break these curses and remove yourself from situations and not look back. Why? You didn't fancy being Salt Bay, Lot's wife. Who wants to be Lot's wife? Not me. Not me. Perish the thought. On that note, I drops me mic. Todd love to my Teesprings, Todd love to my Patreon, or simply come back here. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. 144 in the chat. The chosen have assembled. Fist bump. No one must spin the block on you. I don't care who it is. Remember who put you in that circumstance, who watched you in that circumstance, and who celebrated on you being in these circumstances. You're a big cat and you have purpose. And if anytime you are unsure, you go to your North Node on your birth natal chart and find those tools, big cat. Find those tools. Remember, don't waste your life like I did. It took me 50 years, half a 100, to realize I didn't have to be in those circumstances and that I was the baddest of them all. As are you, bestie. Fist bump and big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat. Cat.